Well, hello again! Oh my gosh, this is so good. We are having such a great time in the She Shed. Hopefully, I think you guys have to put me on timeout because for this entire season, I haven't had my sipping stuff. I have to have my sip because we're supposed to be sipping and chatting. My name is Dr. Cheryl Holmes, and I'm a psychologist and family therapist. I also train and certify life coaches as well as relationship coaches. And you guys who've been around know all the stuff that I've done. But tonight, what we're doing is really sharing some really what we hope will be pertinent information for you in your relationship. I know right now you're really excited and you just want to sit and just kind of bask in everything that's happening. But what about just taking some time to share? Share and like and share. Show me some love. So show me some love. And also let us know where you're looking at us from. I know I have some friends from India, some friends from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Rwanda, and all those great places I've had a chance to be. The Caribbean, my country of birth, Trinidad and Tobago. So all of you, where are you looking at us from? And if we have some men who are you're looking as well, please interact. There's some things that you might agree with, if you want to hear that. If you agree, give us a thumbs up. If you don't agree, give us some hearts. Either way, we want to just feel your love on tonight as you look at this. We want to also remind you of the single women support group that we're beginning really soon. If you're interested in that, please let state that in the comments. We're really trying to do relationships differently. We're trying to enter relationships without love and really work do it from a scientific point of view. So I'll be your coach through that process, that 12-week process, to get you, introduce you to yourself, and to get you into your next relationship in a more healthy and whole way. So, I've done all of this so that you have some time to share and like and share and like. Make sure that you share it to all the groups that you're in. Put it on Instagram and all the other places that you want your friends, wherever your friends are. Let me introduce you to these amazing women who are backstage. Tonight, we're going to have some fun. First, we have Carla. Carla, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Hi, I am doing wonderful, Dr. Cheryl. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We are very nosy in the She Shed. As women, tell us who you are. We want to know your marital status and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, my name is Carla and I am 51 years old. I am single. I've been married before. So here I am. I'm single and I live in Georgia.
Awesome. So, one of the things that we find in the man cave and the She Shed is that somebody might see you and they might be interested. Are you open for someone contacting you and saying in a respectable way? Not those kind of DM foolishness. We talked about that at some point.
Right.
Guys need to stop with the foolishness. We want no pictures. Be
Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
Yeah, respectfully. Sure.
respectfully. All
Yeah.
right, guys. You see how she's cute? Looks like she has a natural hair there. She already told you her age, although she looks a whole lot younger. But this is Color. Color will be right back with you. Okay, let's see who else we have here. We have Terry.
Hi,
Yes, how you doing?
getting you.
Good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 35. I'm single from Kansas City. Whoop whoop, home of the Chiefs. Um, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a licensed master cosmetologist, and I have my own body contouring studio.
Nice, nice. Body. So explain that a little bit. What is the body contouring?
Body contouring. I do laser lipo, cellulite removal, laser hair removal, skin tightening, fat melting.
I love it. I love it.
All
I
the
love
above.
it. Your inbox is gonna be full with all these people who just like, I got this tummy and I'm not feeling like working out. Come on, come on, Terry. Listen, we're gonna put Terry's information so that you can contact her. We're all about Black businesses. We love that. Remember, one of the things that I say, your salary is the bribe your employer gives you to forget your dreams. Your salary is the bribe your employer gives you to forget your dreams. So when you have somebody who's following their dreams, we're like, yeah, all that. Terry, we'll be right back with you. So good to have you. And I'm telling you, all your inbox is going to be full. I'll be right back with you. Let's see who else we have here, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. Pastor Reverend Dr. Apostle, the woman of
Yeah.
God, Gemma Duncan. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Gemma Duncan, as you see.
Mhm.
I am a child of God, a servant of God, and I consider myself very privileged that God will have use for me. So it's
Great.
an honor
Mhm.
that He will use me. I am happily, contentedly married, and my husband and I, his name is Emmanuel Vivian Duncan. We are in our 46th year of marriage,
Wow.
and God has been gracious to us. Well, if you live that long and you still love each other, it's God.
It's God. Yeah. It's got
uh,
a whole
at
heap of
first, you
it.
think it's one thing that how you look, and I mean, you're foxy, you're this, you're that, and then good sense prevails at some point. And looking back at your life, you realize that it's God who kept you through this whole process and still have you loving each other. Now, COVID proved that we could get along because
Good.
we now have emptiness. We have three adult children. Our youngest daughter is 35, oldest son is 42, 43, and we have a one in between, 39. And so we enjoy empty nest. And of course, during COVID, we were just locked in the house, just two of us, and we were fine. We did well. And then I told myself, well, this relationship could really work, because because at least he's always busy. We both are, but he's always out and all of that. And here we are, stuck together, and by God's grace,
Making it. And
we
yeah,
liked it actually.
that's really, really good. Well, ladies, I told the ladies the rules in the back, and we're really trying our best to be open and honest and as transparent as can be. One of our guests said before, it's like, I don't know if I want to talk about that. And it's really funny. By the end of time together, she felt comfortable enough to share some stuff. So we want to talk about relationship. We want to talk about love. We have two individuals who are single. I don't know, Terry, have you been married before?
No.
Okay, so one person's never been married, and then we have one person's married for 46 years, which is amazing. And then we have Carla, who is kind of touched both worlds.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we want to talk about a little bit, I should go easy first. Why do you think relationships are not working right now? And not just people staying in relationship, because we know that people stay in relationships for all kinds of different reasons. And unlike what Gemma says they're enjoying themselves, enjoying, and there's some people who are enduring.
Mhm.
Their level of tolerance is just very high, and it's cheaper to stay in the relationship rather than leave. We have people who are strong, powerful women, intelligent women, um, degrees, evangelists, politicians, all of that, but yet still they can't keep their man. What is happening? What from where you ladies stand, is this something that you're seeing as true, or and if it is true, what is happening with these women, with us as women? We can't even say these women. With us as women, we're smart, we're independent, we're all those things that the world would consider us good employees. We're rising into places that we've never been before, and professionally. But when it comes to the home front, we're failing. Why? Any takers as to why? If you don't take Carla, you look like you wanted to answer.
That's such a loaded question.
I know.
I love it though. I have a couple of answers, but so first I'll say this. What I learned in being married and divorced is that it's not, I do self reflection a lot. And so I had to, of course, sit in what was my part in the demise of that relationship, right? But I think in general, today's world, we are so selfish. We're so selfish. And it's such a world. We live in such a world where everything is at our disposal, right? Even people. And so when we're not happy with something, well, I'll go get another version,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I'll just upgrade. Everything is an upgrade now. And so we don't have, and we're not taught skills, life skills, even in school, but certainly it's not being taught in the homes where commitment is what you need in this world to have long lasting relationships. Of course you need other stuff, but commitment, nobody has commitment. Everybody's selfish, and we know that if I'm not happy right here, I can go somewhere else and get what I'm missing, even if it's something small or temporary. I know I can go and get it somewhere else, so I'm going to do that. We're such a disposable society in every area of our lives that it's trickled into relationships.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Terry, what do you see? So for you may not be seeing the marriage, but the repartnering meaning that, this is September. There are people who have gotten in and out of probably 2 or 3 relationships since January 1st to now. So there's no kind of stability even in that. And sometimes we look at the marriage part of it and we see the number of times that person gets divorced. But when we look at the repartnering that's happening, it's really a lot. What do you think? What is the disconnect for us as women in terms of keeping those relationships?
I would say it's in communication and perception. Like the community, like we have to be intentional when dating. And most of the time that we do go in, we are like, oh, this is what I want. Or even if we do express what we want, we don't fully express what we want. And so like we just go in and kind of leave it an open-ended question for them to decide, oh, is this what they want too? Or if they say what they want and we say what we want, but we don't really mend it in between to see if it's equal, if this is a good partner, like a partnership.
Mm-hmm. That's really good, because one of the things I've learned with communication, and I say to my clients, it's not your intention. So when we speak with intention, but it's the interpretation. So my intentions may be to say whatever, but what you're walking away with, what the interpretation, how are you interpreting what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why asking someone, what did you hear me say? Sometimes you ask that question and you get something so totally left field. You just say, no, that's not what I said. Because what's happening is filtering in, and they're putting all kinds of other conversations into there, and they're walking away. So communication is not just the sharing of information, but it's making sure that the person is interpreting, you, the communicator, and the one who's listening, is walking away with the same understanding.
Yes.
Gemma, what do you think? What's happening? What's contributing to the breakdown? You've done a great job,
Um,
held out for 46 years, but that's not the testimony of a lot of women. What? And I'm talking about the women's role in the demise of the
mhm.
relationship.
So I love ladies, very profound. From my standpoint, I mean, there are many things that are going through my head, but in our culture, we're talking about the Caribbean. I'm in Trinidad, of Trinidad and Tobago. There were not many conversations in the home, and there were very generalized instructions, like one size fits all, that the elders gave us as youngsters. And for example, fundamentally, what I came out with, because I grew up in the country area, that a good homemaker is equal to a good wife, and that is what would make you a keeper, right?
Okay.
The thing is, now there's this initial attraction, right?
Hmm.
And I tell people, the parts that as women generally we pay a lot of focus on, that is just the initial attraction. So I could get this gentleman, but how do I keep him? How do I hold him? And that is not what that we were not taught that. What do you do? What are the skills I need to keep him? It's one thing to get him, and it made you feel that if you didn't have the physical wherewithal, that probably you wouldn't get. And then we see men leaving a wife that we would die to look like, to go with somebody who, I mean, if you just look at her, she doesn't have all that, but she learned the skill of keeping. And when women don't have all the physical assets, they concentrate more on the keeping, how to make him feel good, how to make him feel safe. I'm going all over the place. But initially, we were not prepared. And then I learned that what we were told, what I believed, was this commensurate homemaker really, to my mind, didn't make him love me any better. I was a school teacher for my entire career for 39 years, and I was a homemaker. And because I grew up in the country, you had to be this immaculate housekeeper. And I cooked all of my meals. I baked every single thing. I grew up in the country. You made all these snacks for your children. I mean, everything that you could possibly do. Not only did I take care of the inside of the house, but I also took care of the outside. I grew up so country woman. You clean yard, you cut bush, you plant stuff. I mean, most of the trees and flowers and all of that, you planted it because that's what we do. And then when you get into a relationship, you realize that I believe he appreciated all that I did, but I am not sure it met his needs.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
so I know other people have to talk, and I may be able to develop this a little further. You need to find out the person's needs. I don't think there is a one size fit all in this whole relationship thing. What is the need of the person you have? Because we tend to feel, well, there are certain things that all men need. They need a sense of security, they need a hiding place, they need a little place to run away from the maddening crowd, this whole concept of hostility in the workplace. They want to come to a safe house, which is important. But after we've done that, what it is that this man, my own, specifically need. And I didn't learn to pay attention to that. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I was more concerned about my needs. I didn't even think that he had needs. I wasn't
I
seriously.
love your yes, I love your
It
transcripts.
didn't occur to me that perhaps I should be thinking about what he needs, because I came from a rough childhood experience, and marriage was something a little iffy in my mind. because I came from a lot of beatings and, well, you grew up in Trinidad, and physical abuse, verbal abuse. And I told myself, if I have to get married and I have the same thing again, I might as well say single. So when Vivian decided, his name is Vivian, that he wanted to get married, I took the initiative. We had sessions. I was the counselor. I didn't even let him talk. I didn't want to hear. I never thought I was hearing his view or his opinions. And all these sessions, when he picks me up, we went out and I told him what I wanted, what I needed, what were my parameters, what were not acceptable. And I mean, now that I look back, I don't understand why he stayed. Because I don't know how he wasn't smart enough to say she crazy. you know, because I thought about me, especially coming from that kind of negative background. I was really concerned about whether my needs are going to be met, whether, I'm going to be abused and be hurt further.
That a little bit, Carla and Terry, is that something that is still happening now, where when we think about a relationship, the woman talks about all that she needs. And, you hear a woman says that, if you have to take me on a date, and you have to take me to this type of restaurant, you have to have this type of whatever. Is the woman still, like you said, Carla, are we still being selfish, or have we balanced, Terry? Have we balanced it off a little bit more? You haven't been married. I know you're cute and you have all of this stuff going on, Terry. I know you're dating. Are we still, sister to sister? Are we still in that place of being selfish, or just about my needs?
I feel like we're not selfish enough. Well, I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for me.
Okay.
Like, I'm very giving. I'm very loving. I'm very loyal. And I've been there in all my relationships, whether it's being a friendship, a boss employee type deal, cousin. It don't matter who you are, just a person on the street. I'm that loyal person. I'm not selfish at all. I would give my last, you know what I mean, to somebody. So I come from a different place where I have to learn to be a little more selfish, maybe, and be, I guess, more communicative with what I want, as opposed to always being like a people pleaser.
Okay.
So I come from a different side.
No, and that's fine. And that's fine. Because, so what would you give me an example of what would be a balanced relationship for you? Just hypothetically, if you meet a guy, what would be balanced in terms of what he would ask for of you and what you might ask of him?
Balanced, us giving the same thing that we want.
Okay.
You want specifics?
No, because I'm thinking, all right, so you meet this guy. Does the man that, because you're gonna have people not just in your DM one in your services, but also the guys who just like, you're cute and all of that other stuff. What would be someone that you're looking for, that you feel that some characteristics or anything that you're looking for, that you feel that this will be a good, at least an initial sort of match for you? We have more to look into, but just on a level one.
Right. Well, he has to be like God-fearing. He has to have some sort of higher knowledge of somebody else that he gets counsel from besides just himself.
But isn't that
Like,
problematic? Let's say you believe in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and he believes in Buddha or something else. Would
he
that be
believes.
okay?
He believes.
Oh, you
That,
once
that
he believes,
he
okay?
believes. Now, what? That's kind of tricky. Like, that's kind of tricky because I mean it's a battle, but I guess it wouldn't work.
I guess it wouldn't because because
But
I
see,
think
like, where I come from, I'm like, oh, I can fix it. Wait, no, because you can,
that, yes, and
that's
that's what
that's
we do as women. We
yeah.
just like we hear the man say, you know what, I love men, and they just like, nah, it's okay, I can fix that. They say, I don't work, I work at McDonald's or whatever, and she's thinking, yeah, I want to get you promoted as the supervisor of McDonald's. But he loves what he does. He's just happy where he is, and so that shifted. All right, Carla, I see you, girl. I see you. I see you. I see you.
Because y'all are hitting on so many things, and I'm like, me. Listen, so the listen, I can't. Anybody that want to jump in and send me a private message, whatever, just know that if you are not a Christian, don't come in my DMs. I love God. I live for God. It's only God. So if you believe in Buddha or whoever, that's wonderful. You Catholic, that's wonderful. Do that over there. We can't do that together because we need to worship together. We need to believe the same things and we need to be on the same ground. And that's where a lot of the problem is. Like people, and I'm gonna say because Terry, you just mentioned, Dr. Cheryl, you were saying that he works at McDonald's and right now he's a cashier, but don't worry, that's okay because we're gonna get you there. We are fixers. Women are fixers, right? It's our instinct because we're mothers, so we're nurturers. We have to, and I was guilty of this. So we have to stop dating and marrying people's potential, right? Because that's why I had a second divorce. I married this guy because I saw the potential in him to be great. And I was like, all he needs is a little steering and carrying. So we, matched up in so many areas. I'm like, we're just going to get him right now. He's doing this. But when I finish with him, he's going to own that. And I saw the potential in him, but it's not what he wanted. He said that's what he wanted, but when it came down to doing the work, he didn't want that part. He just wanted it to come to him easy. And so we have to be careful in dating somebody's potential instead of their reality.
That's
And
good.
so going back to the needs, what Mrs. Gemma said, we have to find out the men's needs, right? They have to be vocal about it. They have to start being vocal about it because I hear men say, we're not mind readers. Women got to tell us this. One thing I know, women, we tell men what we want in a relationship. We tell them what we need and what we expect. But when it comes to men, and I'm saying that, the men that I've had conversations with, when it comes to them and you ask them what they need in a relationship, they don't think or speak about their needs past a superficial level. And I think that's the problem. Like, we need to start really getting to a place, grown-ups, where we are vulnerable and honest in what we need, what our needs are, our expectations, our wants, our likes and our dislikes. Stop sugarcoating stuff up front just so that I can get that date or so that we can go out and maybe we can work on that and she'll change her mind or he'll change his mind. No. If you have cut cards, say, this is my cut card, this is my stance, it's no turning back on it. So if you think you're going to date me and wine and dine me so that I'm going to change my mind, you're wasting your time. But thanks for the meal. So don't get upset when I go on my way and you be like, well, I thought, no, you didn't thought nothing because I told you up front. This is what it is. So we got to be honest in our conversations, both men and women. We really do.
Oh, okay. And I think that is really, really, really important because you're building a relationship based on what you know. And what you know is what you've been told.
Yes.
This whole idea of mind reading doesn't make sense. So if you say that you love God and you know pray all the time or whatever, the person is building a relationship based on that information. So later on, when you pull that card and say, "Nah, I don't like that anymore," that is it's being what is the word? Um, what is it?
Crazy. You're
Yes.
being crazy because I told you up front that I'm a pray and I love God. And so now you're expecting me to be the opposite of that? You're crazy.
Mhm.
You're crazy because I told you this is who I was.
What about what? How do you feel about women initiating relationships? Now I'm talking about relationships. So initiating, someone is there. They fit everything. You've been praying. God told you who this person is. The person is there. Um, the person is shy and doesn't say anything. What do you feel? How do you feel about that? And then we'll push it a little further in marriage, um, about initiating sex. So initiating a relationship up front, at least positioning yourself so that they know that you like them too, and secondly, in marriage, um, Terry, when you talk to a guy, I told you with the hot seat, somebody's there, check all the boxes that the boxes we shouldn't have. All of that. You love God, love children, love my mama, love all of that. You guys have been friends forever, and you just want, you feel that you want to entertain moving it to another level. Would you initiate that?
I would, but being as though, well, I normally would, but I'm trying not to do the stuff that I did before so I could try to get a different result.
Okay. Okay. So that didn't work for you before.
No, it did not work.
Okay. Okay. So when you initiated, did they entertain it, and then later on you found that it didn't work, or it didn't work right then and there?
Um,
Did you try to talk to them and they rejected you, or they entertained it and then later on?
yeah, it's entertained and then it's a switch up.
So it's a switch up because they were not interested, or you guys were not a good match.
Um, well, what I've been told is that I'm everything, just not at that time.
Right person, wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're not ready for your goodness.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, Paula.
I'm
Yes.
lying.
And look, you gotta appreciate that. One thing that I taught my boys is that I said I can teach you a lot of things in life. I cannot teach you how to be a man. You got to get that from dad. But what I can teach you is how to be a good human, right? And so in being that, you have to be honest. I said, so do the opposite of your daddy. He probably won't see this. Do the opposite of your dad, right? And so be honest look, I tell guys, be honest. Let me know up front what you want. If you just want a date ship, okay, we're going to date, no expectations. If we agree that we are in a monogamous relationship, that means you don't have no friends, right? So you're not seeing anybody else. It's me and you. That's it. And so I told my boys, always be honest with a woman. If she's interested in you and she wants a monogamous relationship and that's not what you want, you tell her that. Well, no, I'm just trying to date right now. I don't want to settle down. That's not what I want. I just want to date. Now, if she decides she's still going to date you and you're dating Kim and Liz and all the rest of the girls too, she cannot get mad. Well, she can, but she would be crazy because you told her the truth. So you owe her nothing else. You told her the truth. Now, the problem is going to come when she's calling me and saying, well, Miss Carla, he just didn't do me right. He stepped out. Well, what was y'all agreement? He said we were going to be monogamous. Well, then I got a problem. I'm going to call him. So it's like, no, he told you up front that y'all were dating and seeing other people. So what's your problem? And I actually had that conversation with a young lady because she called me crying and I loved her to death. I thought she was great for my son. He's not ready to settle down. And he let her know that. And he sure wasn't. I said, he has nothing to offer you. What do you want with him?
Everything
Go.
that mama had. But
Listen.
would you initiate a relationship at this point in your life?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
Terry, don't stop doing that. Appreciate that young man's honesty. Appreciate his honesty. Look, some people are just not ready. And you gotta, I would appreciate somebody telling me, yeah, you're good, but not right now, not for me right now. Because that's saving you a lot of time and heartache, baby. A lot of time and heartache. And so I would absolutely initiate a relationship or a conversation. I don't have a problem if I'm out and about because I go out. I take myself out to eat all the time. And I'll go to the movies when the world was open and free. I would take myself out. I travel by myself. So I have no problem if I'm sitting out at a restaurant and I'm eating. And most of the time I'll sit at the bar because you can communicate with people there. If I'm held up at a table by myself, I'm just sitting there talking to myself or reading a book. But when I want to talk to people and meet people, I'll sit at the bar because people are going to sit there. I have great conversations. I've had great free meals and the whole nine. So
Okay.
you meet people, and but you still got to say, look, if you pay for this meal, that's on you. You're not getting my number when this is over with. So
Right.
just
Okay.
right? No, I don't see any problem with women initiating that and in marriage.
No, no problem. Gemma, what are your thoughts? So it's been a minute since you've been in the dating world, but so now, even as you're counseling, you're hearing these women talk. What do you think about women initiating the relationship and then initiating sexual intimacy with their spouse?
It has been a long minute.
A minute, yeah, a New
Uh,
York minute.
but the whole concept of initiating a relationship is biblical. From the time you asked the question, the first thought that came to mind is Ruth and Naomi.
Absolutely, yes.
Ruth counseled, Naomi counseled Ruth to initiate the relationship with Boaz. And Ruth was smart to listen. A
Yeah.
lot of times, Terry, perhaps you needed an older woman to tell you
Yes.
how to be subtle. There is because men don't like for us to dive on them, and scare them.
Absolutely.
They say, "Woo," you're coming on too strong or something like
Mhm.
that.
You're
But
thirsty.
Naomi, you're coming over desperate.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You may not think so, but it is so. And
Mhm.
Naomi counseled Ruth, and she told her how to be subtle. She told her about the clothing. She said, dress in this particular way, go and lie at his feet based on the culture. And Ruth followed whatever Naomi said. And the problem is there's this dichotomy between the woman that the Bible says the older woman should really mentor the younger ones. But I don't know. I can't blame any which group why it is not so. So the whole concept of you initiating the relationship is biblical. It's acceptable. It's fine, and
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with helping him along. But you're talking
Yeah.
subtlety because the thing with a man is you have to make him want you, and in the end he thinks it started with him. It was his idea.
Right.
You can't come across as if it was your idea.
That's wisdom,
So there are
yes.
some skills that
Mhm.
some of you youngsters, well, you all are big women and so on. Young people think that older folk don't have, and we do have. If you take a short minute to listen. Secondarily, I see no problem in the woman initiating sex in
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Um, I
You better.
well, the thing is, when we got married, I got married to a pastor's son, and um, no, I was not in the church all the time. I got jumped in young in my early teens, but I wasn't there from the initial part. But he grew up as a pastor's son. And so the two things are both of us lacked experience when we got into this relationship. but he came cultured to think in a certain kind of a way, right? Because remember, in the church in my day, sex was made to be something dirty until you reach up in front of the altar and you go on your honeymoon. If something not good all before, in one fell swoop, if I am
Yes.
so trained, there is no way on my honeymoon night my concept will change.
Right.
And so when we got married, well, neither of us knew anything because I was not like in church, but my grandfather was a dragon. So it's just as if I was in church because you weren't going anywhere, you're not doing anything, you're not having any relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So I was just housebound. Papa watch you all the time, right? And I decided that and I mean he was very discreet. I know he did some reading and all of that, but I knew that as a pastor's son, he is not going to be out there. So what did I do? I went and I got some literature, not from the Christian store,
Okay. All
because
right.
the
Okay.
literature I wanted,
All right, mother.
you
Yes.
wouldn't get it from the Christian store.
Yes.
But the
Amen.
skills that are necessary, they're there in the book. So don't worry to go Christian literature. That is the stores we have in you know. So I went to look,
Uh-huh.
and his heart was good because I knew at times he was shocked, but he liked it because you
Good.
have to make sure that what you're gonna try, don't. I mean, because some men, especially if he is born into Christianity, and you go on trying to do all kinds of things with him, he will wonder what it is. Who is
Yeah.
this monster I
And you
got
start
married?
rebuking the devil in you,
Right.
right?
So we have to go subtly,
Don't
yeah,
scare them
slow and
off.
subtle.
Yes.
Because I mean, I could be honest, it's 46 years. I remember, I mean, I tried certain things that just literally scared him. He went on a trip, and I thought that um, that it would be nice. I got this nice little white bikini, and when he came back from the trip, I thought he would be so enamored. That time I was looking bikini type. Uh, no, I won't try that. I mean, he will have the same reaction, but not for the same reason. And so when he came, I made the door was open and I was in the bed with my little bikini. He just turned around and went right back outside.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I shocked the daylights out of him. Well, the
Oh.
bikini disappeared, right?
Oh wow.
It never came
Mission
out again.
accomplished.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it almost looked horish maybe in his
Uh-huh.
eyes,
Uh-huh.
So he wasn't ready for that. So I'm saying, let me tell you, I involved Holy Spirit in my life. I came from a background where I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to love. I was not loved. I didn't know how to have relationships. We were very dysfunctional. And I tell people dysfunction with all capitals. Because there are levels of dysfunction. Well, we were dysfunctional in every way. We didn't communicate in our house. Nobody talked to each other really, except when they give you an order, do this, do the other. But like conversation, there never was. So it's when I grew up, I realized something was. I mean, I knew something was wrong, but it was very wrong. So you're here in a relationship, and here you have this guy who come from a very conservative background, and so you have to be subtle. So I started to read, as I said. I don't want to take up much of the time, and started to try little things subtly. So I knew don't go in his face, Terry. That was too much.
Okay.
And then he shocked me in many ways. For example, I on my honeymoon, I carried negligee and all kind of thing, and then I took one little slutty something, which I didn't expect him to appreciate because knowing he is conservative. And I said to him, "What would you like me to put on?" And he wanted the little slutty thing, and I
Good.
didn't wear the
Good.
negligee for the entire, you know. So I tell women, now listen to me. I am 69, but I buy really fancy lingerie. I
Nice.
I buy matching underwear.
Okay.
When we traveled a lot and with London, you could get it there. I don't buy yellow. I buy purples and reds and blacks. I'm looking for navy blues, Bible colors, royal colors. Listen, and
For the man of God. I
I
love
went
it.
Google and search. It have 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. Not because you multiple X. You have to wear bloomers
Oh,
and
good,
spoons.
good.
Hello, just even if you're not married,
Oh,
I tell the women in church, it feels good.
Yes.
And you put on these batching bras. Listen to me. And I hand wash them. I don't play because they're real expensive. And you have to start with one and then try the next one. They last. If you pay money for those things, I
yeah.
have these lingerie that 10 years
Hmm.
and the color perfect
Yeah.
because you have your special
Yeah.
soap, you wash it, hand
Yeah.
wash. I ain't playing. Hang it up there, put it away for the next time.
But how did you, Gemma? This is really really good because I don't know. I think Carla and Terry will feel the same way. It's really very rare that you would find someone who has been married that long who will
Yeah.
be that transparent and be able to talk through those things. I really feel like this is a biblical moment where we're just kind of sitting with the older woman and she just
Oh my
kind
God.
of helping
Okay.
us. How did you get? At what point did your husband transition and took over the sexual part of your relationship?
Well,
Did it?
he always was the aggressor,
Mhm.
right? But it's not he did his reading. So
Okay,
it wasn't as if
he's a good student.
yeah, because I asked him, well, you're a pastor's son, did you do anything? His mother, there were 7 boys, and I don't know how this lady handled these guys. All of them conformed. All.
No.
So I say you never try nothing. No. I say you
Yeah.
didn't run away to do nothing. No, he ran away from school. He ran away to go cinema, and a long time. Well, Pentecostal, he ain't going no cinema. And they all conformed.
So
I
did you kiss during your courtship, your dating?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. At least
I
you
can't
didn't go
lie to
to.
you because most people tell yourself how in church they talk about you shouldn't do this, and most of them had sex before.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, but if you say publicly you kiss, they make it an issue of it. I have a radio program, radio and TV called Ask Pastor Gemma, and somebody called in and asked, and the youngster asked if it is okay to kiss during courtship. I ain't saying kiss every arbitrary person. I'm already engaged. So you want to tell me we engaged, we have the wedding date and everything, and we're not kissing, we lying.
Right. Right.
We haven't sex before.
Right.
And it's only when some of them get pregnant, then you know they're having sex. But
Okay.
of course, you will kiss. And you want to have parameters that you don't want to border
Right.
because of the kind of upbringing we had. There was a lot of guilt attached to intimacy.
Mm.
So if you kind of find yourself kind of going in a tangent, you start to feel guilty. I mean, like the Holy Spirit was overactive. You know what?
It's overactive.
I'm just saying so. Because people do all kinds of things now and didn't feel that it was wrong and that kind of thing. But absolutely.
So let me one more question
Mm.
for you before I go into the other ladies. How's your sexual appetite now?
Amazingly excellent.
Jesus, can we all lift our hands and just touch this woman? Yes, God.
I sometimes I wonder, yeah, I mean, hello. I'm 69, going down
Still
there
alive.
just now is the big
Okay.
7, and yeah,
I love it.
I mean, because he is physically attractive. He's a nice looking man.
Yeah, he is. I know him. Mhm.
And you don't get to see him how I get to see him.
No, I don't. Jesus.
You understand?
You don't know, my man.
So, and we have our bathroom is
You don't know.
glass.
Okay, so you said your bathroom is all glass.
The shower stall.
The shower,
So I mean, seeing I might be coming in there and he lathering or something. Come on.
Come on,
Um,
it's a shower for two.
you know, even church, sometimes he's preaching. He's a real nice man, and listen to me, immaculate dresser. And he will be preaching away, and he make a turn, and I say,
Oh,
Jesus, Holy
Jesus!
Ghost, because
They got to give it to God.
hallelujah. What is, I have my notebook. What did he just say? Let me write the scripture because I mean, I didn't try to feel nothing, but it's as he turned. That turn just hit me, you know what I mean, like a bolt of lightning. And I had to say,
You
Gemma,
can
you
understand.
take our
Thank you,
help
God.
to focus
Something
now.
else.
Helping to focus. Yes,
Yeah.
Jesus. Listen, I love it. I love it. And because you don't know, or maybe you do know, I sit and you probably see about 13 clients a day, and several clients. You know how many. Recently, I did a workshop with only pastors, senior pastors, not assistant pastors, just senior pastors and their wives. And there were people in that room who did not have sex for 2 years. A lot of them, there's a lot of sexless marriages. There's a lot, and what happens, and what's happening now is that women are saying that when they get to that age of menopause, that the sexual desire drops, which
It may happen
has
to some
there's
people.
right
It happens to
there's
some people.
indication, and the dryness and everything else. But sex has to be, it's a mind thing as well. The biggest sex organ you have is your mind.
Yeah.
And when we submit, I really believe in the scripture that says we have two keys. What we bind on earth is bound, and what we loose is loose.
That's
So
right.
sometimes people say that you're predisposed. So everyone says during menopause you have to put men on pause. But I'm so happy to hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
That at this after 46 years, your husband still turns. Listen, I am sure all the
And
men,
may not stop.
all the men in the comments gonna be
Yeah.
saying, "Do you?
Yeah.
Can you have a daughter? Can you come talk to my wife? Can you talk to my cousin? Can you just talk to us?" Because it's a mindset, and the reason I asked about initiating is because men want to feel desired,
Right.
and when you're turned on like that with him, by him, or you initiate, they're hearing that, oh my gosh, she wants me too.
Yeah.
And that is the piece that is missing when we do not initiate.
Yeah.
And men come and they say, I don't know if my wife is still physically attracted to me. Because when it's sex time, I have to fight her. And you talk about the lingerie, men talk about women who sleep in the sweatpants. There's one person that I know, he took a scissor and he cut all the sweatpants, all the big long t-shirts that she was sleeping in, because he wants to have, he said, I don't want to fight so much
Good for
when
him.
it's time for sex.
Yeah, good for him.
So this is listen, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to say
Uh-huh.
something about this sex. What men would need to know is that sex doesn't begin in the bedroom.
For the woman, yes.
How you made me feel, how you treat me is
Yeah.
what makes me want you.
Yeah.
Right? That sense of caring for me. So, I mean, the kind of things he does, we is, he's we don't have a perfect relationship. I don't want to paint it.
No. We're not getting that.
We have had challenges. We continue to have challenges. And I mean, if I don't like something, I'm telling you, he knows me up to this point, right? And if I was the kind of crazy person to put you sit down on dates to tell you something from the beginning, well, a little bit of that still is in me, right?
Right.
However, because he makes me feel secure, he travels a lot. He's a nice man, nice looking man, very charismatic. And of course, women will like him, because that was something that I had to deal with for years in my younger days, and now I enjoy a greater sense of security, later on in years, that he didn't initiate the advances. I mean, there were times when I would go to the bank, two of us standing up right there. We are doing business with this teller, and she could barely write on the form. She smitten with the man and said, "I was standing here." And I said to
What?
him,
The
you notice what
disrespect.
I'm telling a young girl. He said, well, Gemma, I ain't try to do. And so at a point in time, he would not wear clothing that would make him look like sexy or nothing.
Uh-huh.
He would wear loose shirts, and he wouldn't do anything. He still wear his suits are like Steve Harvey kind of big suits kind of thing. He will do nothing to show himself. And even when he had a few outfits, he had that fit him smug, and I mean, I loved it. But I said, but you're looking real good, you know what I mean? You know, but how do you make her feel? Because if you disrespect me, if you don't attend to me, if you are not nice to me, if you don't try to meet my needs, and then you want to dive on me in the night, I'm putting on these sweatpants
Okay.
because the
No
sweatpants
lingerie. No
is a
lingerie.
message.
That's the gate.
Don't
Yeah.
touch me. So the man has to they have to do a lot of he shouldn't cut these sweatpants. He should start treating her better during the day and at other times, and she herself would get rid of these sweatpants. Let me give the other ladies a chance to talk.
Yes, and I'm just getting the wind up. Listen, this the wrap up sign from the team because we have a couple more.
Oh.
Yes. But anything that Carla, Terry, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do final words. But anything about that initiating about what Gemma said that you want to just tag on and highlight. I know she has
She
to
covered
give
it,
all
man.
of us
She
speeches.
covered it.
Yeah,
She
she
really
covered
did.
it.
Look,
Right.
I just wanted to tap in and say yes, sex and the thoughts and the desire and sexiness starts way before the bedroom. Way before the bedroom. So just keep it, look, people, men and women, keep it spicy, keep it interesting, keep it fun. And ladies, stop wearing those sweats to bed. Like that's crazy to me. I don't that's not my MO. Even if I am mad, I'm not
Right.
wearing sweats and t-shirts to bed. I'm not
But
gonna
they're
tell you what I'm
comfortable.
wearing to bed,
Those
but
things,
it ain't
the
that.
t-shirt's comfortable.
It's comfortable, but it's something that's much more comfortable than all of that. So
Naked.
stop doing that. And
I love it.
it's
That's,
your skin. So just keep it sexy. Don't shut down when you're mad and just keep
yeah,
it
just have sex and then get mad after. I'm gonna
exactly.
get final words from you, ladies. Let's just go for just your final words. You can talk about something that we mentioned or just something that you want to make sure that we cover. Carla,
Um,
your final word.
I just want to say, men, we love y'all. Just remember, we're emotional creatures, we're verbal creatures. And so, bear with us when we're talking. We just want y'all to understand us and know what we want. And you guys, please, please, please become verbal yourselves. We need to know what you want, what you like, what you don't like. Talk to us and have yourself together before you approach women. Be honest. We want honesty. We love y'all.
I love that. To be yourself.
Yeah.
That's really good. Carlo, we know we're gonna have you back here. This has been
Oh,
so very good. We
it's
enjoy your
been
contribution.
thank
Until
you.
next time.
Until next time. Thank you.
Okay, Terry, final words from you, sis.
Um, I just appreciate being here and like the communication is definitely key, but the understanding is even better because you have to be able to perceive what a person is saying. Like I could tell you all day I like this, this, and this, but is that what you heard or what did you hear me say? So just be, very mindful and take it to consideration what a person really wants, what they saying they want when they do say they want something.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm telling you, your DM is going to be filled up. We are going to have you again. And, we like what you do and keep connected. Stay connected. Thank you so much, Terry.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to bring this lady to give her final words. She was just totally, totally amazing. Gemma, give us your final words.
I would like to thank you for having me. I appreciated Carla and Terry. I felt that their contributions were profound. So I want to congratulate them for their input. And the point is, the time that we have is too short to really cover all of the things. But I believe what was said was, could help somebody. Uh, we just need to find out, as I said, what is the need of your partner. I think one of the mistakes we make is generalization. Not all women are this and all men are that. And then, final thing is that the needs change as the relationship grows. Because after 46 years, his needs are the same as what was initial. And my needs are not the same. And so you have to understand that there's a level of dynamism in a long-term relationship. I'm not looking for the same thing. For example, things don't bother me that much. I don't have to, he would do it, but I don't have to have gifts and that kind of thing. I want companionship because we're both busy. I treasure the time that he spends with me, which is very different to another season.
That's really, really, really good. We definitely want to have you back. We love your wisdom. We have to have a 2-3 hour session so that we can really break bread and just kind of chop it up. We know definitely, next time I'm in Trinidad and Tobago, when they open up the world again, definitely going to come by and see you
Love
guys.
To meet.
And yes, and be able to chat some more. I love your spirit. I love your wisdom. And just saying, and I don't think you would change, but do not change. All right. We'll see you next time, Java. Tonight has been so good. I felt at sometimes at points in this conversation, I just felt like I was just sitting with my mom and just hearing some stuff. You would find that it was not a whole lot of me going back and forth because I was learning. And I told you guys one of the things that I've learned, when you're in the presence of greatness, you know how to acknowledge that and be able to get what you're getting from that. That's not the time to talk too much. And there are times in this particular time, I realize that this is a woman of wisdom, and it will be foolish of me to not really embrace that level of wisdom. I just thank God for that. For the women who are there and you're in marriage, and your marriages might be 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 3 years, and the desire for sex is not there. And the ladies talked about one of the reasons might be that the man is not making you feel, I don't like making you feel, but I'm going to use that now. The man is not doing what he needs to do to allow you to feel comfortable, to feel loved, to feel secure. Men misunderstand that insecure, that word secure, and they make insecurity sound like a negative. But there's every area of your life, if it's not secure, you will secure it, whether it's your car. That's why we have alarm systems, our houses. So if your wife is insecure, it is really your job and responsibility to secure that and find out where she's vulnerable and where you can make her feel a little bit more comfortable. But we're talking about initiating, got a chance to talk about initiating. I loved what Gemma talked about in terms of having someone past the sun and working through there and taking that initiative and really steering the ship and not being afraid to go outside of the parameters of the Christian bookstore and find resources to be able to contribute to a better relationship. This was great. This was great. Please share this with your friends and family and look at it a few times, because sometimes when we look at the first time, we're in an emotional place. The second time, we take some notes. All right, it's been my pleasure to be with you. My name is Dr. Cheryll Holmes, and I am psychologist, family therapist, and sex therapist, and your friend. Until next time, bye-bye.